Now, the first thing we have to learn in polar coordinates is how to plot the points, okay? So point A, as we can see, is plotted as 5 comma 45, or preferably 5 comma pi over 4, indicating a radial distance of 5 radial lengths from the pole being right here, okay? And at an angle sweep of positive, okay, positive 45 degrees. Again, positive indicates rotation in the counterclockwise, okay, direction. That being the case, we should be able to find the coordinates of point B. Point B, as you can see, is at a radial swing of 3 units out. And of course, it looks possibly in here that it could be at a negative angle of rotation, and we're going to find whether in fact it is. Yes, it is. It is, okay, at 3 comma negative 45, okay? Point C looks to be at a radial distance of 4, and at an angle value, okay, I would, again, we're going to see from here that these are measured in 15 degree units, so it's 15, 30, and so on and so forth. So this being 270, this is 30 degrees short of that. So that's 240, okay? 240, and its coordinates there, as we can see, are indicated to be negative 120 degrees, okay? Which raises a question because that is a negative angle of rotation, but it is also that we could have gotten there through a positive angle of rotation of, okay, as we said, 240 degrees. So there's different ways of renaming that point, okay? And lastly, finding this coordinate, as we can see, is 7,150, 7,150 at an arc at a radial distance of 7 units out and an arc swing of 150. But again, as we could see, it could be named alternately. So that's where we're going to pick up next. Now, each of these points, okay, could have alternate names, as we saw here, okay? So we're going to give alternate plots to these and see that we end up in the same location. So let's go forth and do that, okay? So let's go and plot some additional points. So, and another name for point A might be, okay, at an angle rotation other than 45 could be, okay, 45 degrees short of 360, which would be 315. 315 negative, that is, okay? Negative 315, okay, should put us in the same location. If I put it as a radial value of 5, it's going to superimpose on it, so I'm going to put it at 6, just so we could see the difference, okay? So there it is, okay? That's our point as plotted, 6 comma negative 315, okay? This point B could alternately have been plotted rather than with a negative 45 degree angle of rotation. It could have been plotted with a positive 315 angle of rotation. Okay, so I can put 315 degrees in here in place. And again, just so that we're not seeing it lay right on top of it, okay, we're going to put it at a radial value of 2 and plot that there and see that, okay? And then let's see, alternately over here, okay, that at this point D, which is at a radial distance of 7, I'll put it at a radial distance of 8 just so we don't see it locking up. We're going to say we're going to go around not once, not 150 degrees, but a revolution plus 150 degrees. So entire revolution, of course, is 360. So we're going to go 510 and see that that ends up right in that same location, of course, with a radial value there, okay, of 8. So we see that there's alternate ways, in fact, infinitely many alternate ways of naming any point plotted in polar coordinates, okay? Okay, we're back, and now we're going to talk about plotting points with negative R values. Negative R values. So let's see what happens when we plot these points with negative R values, negative radial values. So we'll say negative 5, okay, 45, and plot that. And we'll say it ended up down here, okay? As opposed to 5 comma 45, okay? Let's see what happens there, all right? So this point, and we're going to see how this point was labeled, okay? This point is 5 negative 135, okay? This point is 5 comma 45. Now, we've plotted, we asked for negative 5, 135. Negative 5, 135. Well, look what's happened here, okay? Join a segment here between these, okay? What has happened, all right? When plotting a negative R value, plot it as if it's positive, and then have it swing back through the pole to the same radial distance, okay? But as you can see, with a different angle. The angle, of course, is 185 degrees apart. So let's do this again, okay? And plot some more points to illustrate the how the negative angle of rotations work. So we're going to plot negative 3 comma 120, okay? And we're going to see where that ends up, okay? And you'll say that's not at 120 degrees, but there again, you can't have a negative R. You can have a negative R value, but you can't have a negative. Radius. We're going to plot here 3 comma 120, okay, and see the comparison, okay. So here we go again. We're going to connect these just to show the illustration here, okay. So the point here that we plotted was, okay, 3, 120, okay? But when asking to plot negative 3, 120, it actually plotted 3 radial distances out at 120 and then projected it backwards, okay, through 180 degrees so that it landed up here, okay, at, okay, negative 60, or if we prefer, 120 plus 180, for 300, okay? So there is a little bit of thought that has to go into naming coordinates with negative R values, but they can be plotted, okay? So we'll look at that some more momentarily.